Hey y'all, so we are now at the end of the road of Chris catching up. This is my review for the Real Housewives of Miami, Season 6 Reunion, Part 3. My review for Parts 1 and Part 2, just to give you an idea of how far behind I am, it's back from March 7th. So today it is March 24th, and look, I'm a completionist and better late than never. So we left off on Gertie and Larsa going back and forth, and Gertie had an axe to grind this reunion with Larsa. Larsa just refuses to stand down. Like, she just has to say, well, you were a bad friend to me, Gertie. You called me fake. That hurt my feelings. That doesn't measure up to you outing Gertie's cancer diagnosis to y'all's mutual friends and your personal friends. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, this woman is a complete narcissist. As they're going back and forth on whether Larsa's fake or not, Gertie's like, well, you are fake. You want to see a before and after of your pictures? Boom! Got her ass with that. The first step is to admit baby, and that starts with a BBL. Yeah, they got the split screen out. This argument's going on and on and on. I think Larsa fails to see the gravity of what she did. Like, she stole Gertie's moment of, sharing something that's life and death for her with her friends. So Lisa interjects on Larsa's behalf and says that she did tell her about herself when she exposed Gertie's diagnosis. She says Larsa felt really bad about it and she cried, Gertie don't give a damn. She's like, mascot, stop. Stand down, soldier. Lisa should have followed the other lady's lead and stayed quiet. So Alexia interjects on Gertie's behalf and asks Larsa how come she just didn't arrange a sit down with Gertie. More excuses from Larsa, and then we pan backstage to Tyler Perry, Michael Jordan's son. They're not even together anymore, and we're listening to his commentary, and he's like, oh man, I wish I was out there on that couch. To do what? You're an accessory to a narcissist. So then we cut to the reel of Nicole informing Gertie that Larsa asked her, was her cancer diagnosis real or not? Because she felt some type of way when she heard from Lisa that it was like a test for Larsa. And she's trying to make it seem like Gertie's in the wrong for making it seem like a test. But at the end of the day, you failed it though because you betrayed her trust by letting other people know that she had cancer. Also, there's this insinuation that Gertie weaponized her cancer. I don't believe that. Like, I think she has full reign to be mad at Larsa. Whew, so now we're finally moving on. Andy's asking, so is there a chance moving forward? And Gertie's like, it just really has to be show and tell. Like, yeah, I accept your apology, but I gotta see your actions. And they leave it at that. So now the attention's on my girl Kiki. She's being asked about her love life. She has a new boyfriend. And then we're talking about her backstory, coming to America, like her family, how she was kicked out at a young age. Kiki has quite the backstory. I think she is guaranteed to have a mojito next season. She's gonna be full-time. So now they're talking about Kiki's event and how everyone kind of bailed when they were headed to the after party. It looks like that really hurt her feelings. She then starts to compare her life to the others' lives, because she says, well, I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. These ladies are living lavishly. So she starts to break down. Look, comparison is the killer of joy, let me tell you, because sometimes in my friend group, I be feeling like Kiki. I'm the one that's just trying to come up. I'm happy to be here, but look, the problem with having rich friends, that's a conversation for Chris's business. So then we see the ladies begin to uplift Kiki to make her feel better and just make sure she feels loved in the group. It's nice to see. So they move on to the next reel. They're keeping it light, and this is dedicated to just the luxury of Miami and just the feel of it. Like, they really did a good job with this reboot. Now, Larsa, I ain't gonna go that far. The best city on the planet? So ladies are not talking about how expensive Miami can be, and then we get to Larsa, who gives her kid an allowance of $2,000 a month. Whew, must be nice. But Adriana says, Larsa's a lot of things, but she's a great mom. Larsa then tries to play the woe is me card and says, I feel like I've just been taking a beating the whole year. Gertie then says, well, actually you deserve it for what you did. Gertie will not let that foot off Larsa's neck. Child, the two of them still going at it. Like, Andy's sounding off of the commercial break. They're still going at it on the break. I don't know, y'all. As part 3's moving along, I'm thinking this could have been 2 parts. Like, we're talking about Julia's jam right now. I'm like, okay, can we move along? So now we're talking about when Julia was doing opera at Martina's party she threw for her. Andy is gushing over it, but that performance hurt my ears. But I guess it's the thought that counts. So now the topic is how Julia and Alexia are friends, even though Alexia doesn't get along with Adriana. Andy asks Adriana how does that make her feel, and does she think that Alexia trying to be friends with Julia is genuine? She says it's the classic case of the new girl being approached by Regina George and Gretchen Wiener. So Alexia is Regina and Marisol is Gretchen. I mean, that actually is kind of accurate. But then the 2 of them are now tag teaming Adriana again. I'm more so leaning on Adriana's side. I just think Alexia trying to be friends with Julia is convenient. And it makes it easier to ice Adriana out. So now it's being asked around the cast, do they think Alexia and Julia's friendship will last? Because they already show that Lisa and Larsa don't think so, and Marisol looks like she's kind of jealous. So then we move on, and Julia says that now that Martina is cancer-free, they can go along with the adoption process, and they're gonna try. So now they move on to talking about the Mexico trip, and I think this is when the season really started to pick up. This was a really good cast trip. So now the conversation is on Larsa and her tequila, and I think her little friction she had with Alexia, they're going back and forth. And you know, Gertie, she needs to get a piece of Larsa too, so she jumps in the argument as well. Gertie calls her product pushing Pippin. She just keep bopping her, y'all. Like, oh my God. It's almost like beating a dead horse. Like, Gertie, you got your licks in. Like, mama is deceased. So now they're talking about when Larsa told Alexia that she don't have a tie, which I also think is hypocritical. It's like, of course, you had Scotty for like over 20 years, and you definitely benefited from the divorce. Like, you got a nice payout, and you got this man's retirement. You'll be fine. You don't need a tie anymore. Whew, child. So now we move on to the boat ride from hell. So I'm watching the uncensored version on Peacock, and you know when Lisa and Kiki are going in, you shut the fuck up, you shut the fuck up. It's just so jarring hearing it. First question to Lisa, does she regret feeding the dog? Because that is basically where this whole thing started from. She says she does regret it. Instead of just accepting accountability, she has to bring in her divorce. I had the hardest day of my life. I had to sign the most important document I've had to sign in my life. Like, what does one have to do with the other? You fed the dogs because you were having the worst day of your life? Kiki's now saying her piece on it, and she's letting Lisa have it. She's telling her, you look down on people. And you know, it's ironic given the position that Lisa is in now. Oh, Kiki better clock it. So she calls Lisa out on how she always seems to go off on Kiki more than the other ladies. And I think it's because she looks down on Kiki and she's aware of it. She got the rich boyfriend for now, but I'm sure that divorce definitely humbled her ass. Kiki lays it down though. She tells Lisa, I know you think I don't belong here, but you're gonna fucking respect me. Oh, yes! So Gertie jumps in on Kiki's behalf and calls Lisa out for doing some of the things she did that she probably didn't recognize. And I know Gertie's being petty right now because she knows Lisa was defending Larsa. But I'll allow it. So Lisa's definitely not taking accountability in this moment for her microaggressions against Kiki. What, you're gonna beat me up again? You're gonna throw a juice box? Like, oh, I'm just being playful. This is very Dorit of her. Even Andy has to break it down for Lisa. It's a microaggression. It lands differently coming from you. Lisa's just further digging a hole for herself. Just apologize, girl. So by the end of their argument, it looks like there's a path forward for Kiki and Lisa. So we're done with the Mexico trip now? Did anything else happen after that? Oh yeah, like the last part of the season, it was Gertie versus Larsa. I hope they don't get back into that. Like, I think they've done it to death. So we're going around the couch now like it's over, but we still have at least about 13 minutes left. Yeah, I hate going through what everybody learned. Like, it's basically just Miss America answers. Now, wait a minute. We're doing a send-off, and we're on Julia now, and she says something out of the blue about she still doesn't believe that Larsa didn't have a BBL. So then Larsa fires back and says, well, I don't believe you and Martina's relationship. You like black men. You like black men's penises. Apparently she told this to Alexia, but I'm like, okay. Did she think she ate with that? Like, what a weird thing to point out. Like, what was the reason? I want all these white people to stop saying black penises. Oh my God, how are they getting into arguments on the send-off? Jesus, can we wrap this up, ladies? Larsa and Alexia going at it. Larsa wants an apology from Alexia for calling everybody liars except for herself. Poor Nicole, like she has her head in her hands. She's like, guys, this is the farewell. Child, Alexia is now going down the line of who's a liar in the group. I cannot. So according to Alexia, Larsa lies, Adriana lies, Nicole lies. Did she say Julia? No, not Julia. Kiki's super honest. Then when Andy asked what about Marisol, she says, Marisol forgets. And Marisol is offended now. Alexia is saying it jokingly, but Marisol is dead serious. I think she's offended. Lord, we finally get to Gertie's send-off, and her and Larsa actually get up and hug it out after all that. Oh, I mean, look, if only Potomac can do the same thing. Oh my God, Adriana wants to stand up and read something again. Fast forward. Nope, not doing it. All right, so then they're finally ending this reunion. They're bringing out shots of Larsa's tequila since it's finally there. Now, wait a minute. It's getting wacky now. So now we're treated to a performance of the opera singer that was performing with Julia. Fast forward. Apparently, Julia got up there to sing with him. Of course, I didn't hear it. Okay, so now this opera duet turns into like EDM. All the ladies are getting up to dance. I'm Marisol. I'm just sitting in my seat. Are we done yet? Can I leave? So Andy does his send-off, but thankfully the mic packs are still on and listening to the ladies. And Marisol and Alexia get into it. So it turns out that Marisol is still angry from when Alexia hinted that she lies. Like she said, why'd you throw me under the bus like that? Like I'm a liar. They're going back and forth. And I think that's where the episode ends. Yeah, so it ends there, and yeah, part 3 was a little bit of a chore to get through, ain't gonna lie. I would probably give their whole reunion a C. It's not their fault though that Bravo set them up, especially coming at the Beverly Hills the entire season, and then rushing their reunion to make space for Erica Jane's crappy spinoff. Did anybody even watch that? As far as the season as a whole, I give it a B because it definitely picked up around the end of the season, usually where Housewives seasons kind of go down. So I appreciated that. I can't wait for next season. And speaking of, I'm glad I did the reunion late because we have some breaking news. So the news is that Miami is going to start filming in fall. So that means filming is going to be delayed. They usually start in May, I believe. And also, there will be cast changes. Now, will we get a cast shakeup? I don't know, but I do agree. I think the cast needs to be tweaked just a little bit. Definitely bump up Kiki. I don't think we need Adriana anymore. We can make a point that we don't need Larsa either. Lisa can be demoted as a friend. I feel like Marisol and Alexia, they're a package deal. The only sure thing I know is Nicole is coming back. Nicole is definitely coming back. And I think Gertie is too. Julia, I don't know. She definitely proved herself this season to be messy. So, yeah, I don't know. I just know who definitely can leave is Adriana. We'll see. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all thought about, Miami as a whole, the reunion, as well as the season. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all for Potomac. Bye.